Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. And we begin with another holiday tradition taking it on the chin because of COVID. For the first time in its 94-year history, there will be no marching and no crowds for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. The giant balloons, floats, and even Santa will still be on hand, but they won't be on the move. They'll be parked outside of the retailer's Herald Square store for a partially taped, partially live, TV-only event. A few other notable coronavirus compromises. This season's World Series will be played entirely at the Rangers Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's to create a bubble and is the first series since 1944 that all the games will take place at one and only one location. And the University of Wisconsin-Madison just deleted spring break from its schedule. The school decided that it is simply too risky to give students a week off to globetrot and potentially drag the bug back to campus. Antman has a message. Paul Rudd, the actor who never seems to age, jumped into a mask-up public service announcement for the state of New York. It's targeted at millennials in a bid to get them to cover their faces. The 51-year-old introduces himself as a certified young person, wears a hoodie, sweats, headphones, and a hat tipped to the side. It's mostly funny, but ends on a serious note. First, though, he sets his sights on the TikTok crowd.
You want a challenge? How about a Stop the Pandemic challenge? What about that? What about a Save Grandma challenge? That fun enough for you?
My name is Paul, and I'm 6 feet tall almost, and I wear my mask, and it's all I ask, that you wear your mask. Please wear your mask. Just wear a mask. Just wear a mask. It's easy. It's simple. Please. It's not hard. Just wear a mask. I shouldn't have to make it fun. It's science. It's science. No!
Mr. Rudd joins Hollywood powerhouses Robert De Niro, Chris Rock, and Ben Stiller in pretty much begging Americans to fight COVID by covering up. Are you faster than a hurricane? In this case, yes. The storm known as Sally was in no particular hurry as she crawled across the Gulf of Mexico yesterday at just 2 miles an hour. But if you think slower is better, think again. The slow pace gives the storm more time to pick up moisture and energy from the warm water before dumping it on arrival, which was expected to happen overnight and into this morning. Initially, Louisiana looked like her target, but now forecasters predict the brunt of the wind and potentially historic amounts of rain will hit Alabama and the panhandle of Florida. To the west, the focus is still on the fires, but now, even if you don't live in hard-hit California, Oregon, or Washington, you might be seeing the effects. Wildfire smoke from the left coast rode the jet stream all the way to the right and beyond. Meteorologists report an ashy haze over St. Louis, D.C., New York, and some satellites show even as far east as the Netherlands and as far west as Hawaii. Fortunately for those folks, even though the smoke is low enough to be seen, it's too high to smell. A limited time offer for anyone with deep pockets and a really big piggy bank. For the next 3 days, an amusement park in Kentucky is renting itself out to families of up to 6 people. The offer includes all rides at Beach Bend in Bowling Green, no waiting line, no need to worry about COVID. The cost? $5,000 for 2 short hours. Too pricey but still looking for fun? There's always the haunted toilet at Japan's Lagoon Asia theme park. Guests enter one at a time, enjoy a good seated scare, and exit. After being disinfected, it's rinse, fright, and repeat all over again. And that's it for KidNuz this morning. Now our KidNuz quiz. Where will the World Series be held this season? All games will be played at the Rangers Stadium in Arlington, Texas. What actor just filmed a mask-up PSA targeted at millennials? Antman's Paul Rudd. How fast did Hurricane Sally move across the Gulf of Mexico? 2 miles per hour, slower than most people can walk. How far has smoke traveled from the wildfires in the western U.S.? All the way to Europe. In One for the Road, this was one brazen beast. Home surveillance video shows a Massachusetts man asleep in his backyard lounge chair when, unbeknownst to him, a big brown bear saunters into the picture, takes a drink from the pool, then pads on over to the unsuspecting human for a sniff. That didn't end the nap, but the funny foot nuzzle that followed sure did. The homeowner jumped and grabbed his phone, the bear jumped and took off, then wandered back for one more look at his new friend. According to the man's wife, lesson learned. The pool gate now stays locked, at least during Dad's nap time. Before we go, we have some KidNuz shout-outs to deliver. First, to our teachers, Ms. Porter and her students at Lincoln Trail in Lamar, Indiana, Mrs. McCain's kids at Port Chester Middle School in Port Chester, New York, and Ms. Wood's transition class at Washington High School in Washington, Illinois. And we send birthday greetings to Miley in Chillicothe, Missouri, Thomas in Rochester, New York, Rhea in Matthews, North Carolina, Bridget in Washington, D.C., and Livy in Overland Park, Kansas. And a special hello to our superfan Toya Wills in Georgetown, Guyana. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.